Good morning, friends and family. So, unfortunately, several deer have started to just ravage our garden. You can see where we had nice tall tomatoes and sunflowers that they've got almost no leaves left. So they've done a combination of climbing under and jumping over this fence, which makes sense. We knew it was just kind of a deterrent, and the deer got comfortable and hungry and came and ate it. So we've got to figure something out. Long term, wherever we're going to garden, we know we'll need a serious, well-made deer fence. But today, my friend Ryan is visiting, and we're going to try something I've seen on a few videos, using a bunch of fishing line, 30-pound test, as something that the deer kind of bump into and then back away from. So we're going to cut some trees to get some long, maybe 10-foot posts, put 2 feet of it into the ground and have 8 foot sticking out, and then run fishing line every foot or so to try to make a deer fence. And I don't know if it'll work or not, but we're going to give it a try because this is going to be a very low cost thing. And you know, this is still our first garden here. We don't want to do too much with permanent garden setups until we know exactly where we want everything. So it'll be cool to try this. Look at these. They destroyed everything. Okay, we've got a game plan. We're gonna make a 20 by 40 fenced area. And to start with, my wood chipper with a pile of brush ready to chip is in the way. So we'll just quickly get the chipping done and then move the chipper out of the way. I don't think the metal cable is quite in the way, but if it is, we'll use the excavator and put it somewhere else. And then we'll make our spot. Okay, we worked into the mid-afternoon and then called it a day, hung out in the stream a little bit, had dinner. You can see we got the posts up, which tomorrow we're going to run the fishing line that hopefully works and makes it deer proof. Fingers crossed. This is the last night where the deers will have some amount of access to it. Hopefully they stay away. They've done enough damage. We don't want more. Certain things are holding on, and I think we'll recover if we can get this deer proof. We'll see. We'll keep you posted if fishing line, like we've heard actually worked for us or not. It seems like one of those things that maybe it will, maybe it won't. Alright, it's the next morning. Most everybody else is still sleeping, but Ryan and I are up. We're going to start with tying some fishing line around here and seeing how it goes. We've got ideas how to do a simple access door and even an access gate to get truckloads of compost or tractor loads of things in. So we'll be fiddling with that and we'll see how it goes. We're chugging along. We've been tying plenty of knots, and I'm going to show a close-up of what Ryan's doing. He comes from a long family history of deer fence fishing line tires. So he's got thousands of hours and just that generational knowledge of this. So let's watch him at work.
Oh dear. Alright. So what I was finding was doing the regular fishing knot, looping around a bunch of times for the start.
Lots of loops.
Lots of loops, and then coming back through that, assuming you don't drop it. And then when we pull that tight, that should give us, essentially it's just a straight fishing knot on the line, so it slides. Okay. But that gives us a nice starting point.
So we're starting at this post and we're heading over there.
And you can adjust it for free.
All right. Now the way we decided to do it to save time is he's going to give it some wraps around this pole and then give it a good knot tie, but then just continue with the spool. So even if something happened and this line broke here, it would still be tied against this post, and the line going that direction in theory should still be good. So that's how we've been doing it. So I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, maybe the glare is grabbing it, but we're doing every 6 inches for the first 4 of them, and then we're actually might do even more of that because we've got fishing line and we've got time and we're having a good time. Or I think Ryan says he's having a good time. Hopefully that's true.
Most definitely having a good time.
But we're all the way up to 8 feet. And so we're almost done. We're almost done with the regular perimeter. And then the last fun thing to do is the access door we're going to do at that end. We still need to cut a post to fit and rig that up. But oh, and I'll show you how we did the you know, the big tractor sized gate right here. So we basically have the main structural post and then this extra little doodad, and we lashed them together with twine really tight. So these two are lashed together strongly, and then the fishing line, you know, going this direction it's affixed to here, going the other direction it's affixed to here. So if we need to get the truck, the tractor, something in here, we'll just cut off the twine here. This will just lift out and move to the side with all the fishing lines still attached. We'll do what we need to do, and then we'll lash it with twine again, these two together.
So the deer comes,
right.
Watch the deer.
We've got our fishing line thing all set up how we want it. I've got 2 little motion activated game cameras, and so I'm going to put 2 of them up, kind of covering the whole area, and I'm really curious to see, what are we going to see? Are we going to see deer charge right through it and eat our tomatoes some more? We're going to see them, you know, push against it and walk away. I'm really curious, so we'll hang these up and find out. And so for one more good look at the deer fence, we installed posts that were a total of about 10 to 11 feet tall. We put 2+ feet of it down into the ground, and then have at least 8 feet sticking up. And we ended up doing fishing line every 6 inches for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bits of it, because at least 3 deer babies have been around, and so we were trying to make this where even a little deer baby would run into a couple of strings and not get in. So hopefully that works. And so we ran line all the way around. We tied it off at every post, but then kept the same line running. And we've got 1 access door and 1 big access gate able to be used. And it's a work in progress. Ryan and I were discussing the fact that if the fishing line is a big failure, but we still have these posts in the ground, so we could, you know, add insulators and do electric wire around this. There's multiple options we can do. So we'll let this sit for a couple nights, and then I will come back with our results on whether or not deer were getting in for the first few nights we had this. So, the deer fencing project. So far, another failure. I reviewed the footage from the game camera, and there are little deer standing inside. I'll have to look closer. I assume they just kind of crouched and walked through the fishing line. Since it's not an actual hard barrier, what people said was they would feel it and just be weirded out and want to back off. But our deer know there's tasty treats in there, and so to them, they walked right through. So we're gonna go to Tractor Supply and buy some kind of welded wire fence to do the bottom 4 feet-ish with that. All right, the kids are taking Olaf down to the creek. It's hot and they're gonna feel really good down there. And it's good for the safety of the kids just to have a big dog with them. And Tina and I are gonna do this fence. There's the rolls of welded wire, and we're just gonna staple it to these posts, and if the runs look too long, then we'll put in a T-post between the runs and wrap something to tie it in place there.
Yeah, hopefully this goes well and we'll have protected garden area.
Yep. just finished putting some wood chips on the garden. It's been about 3 days of having this real deer fence up, and the deer haven't got in. So we're super relieved about that. And now basically the garden can recover. Or I can show you these spots, like the tomatoes got chewed up so bad, but they're putting on new leaves. And I think there's enough time and good weather left for the summer for this stuff to make a comeback. These pumpkins that I was really excited about got hammered, but they're putting new leaves on again. And I think this garden will do great. And as you can see, we fenced off a large area here that's just bare dirt. And you know, when we're ready, we can expand the garden this way, put in more beds, bring in compost, more wood chips, and just expand it. But crossing my fingers, this is the solution that'll last a few years and keep the deer out. We'll see.